Should Richard believe Nancy? Nancy laid some heavy news on us a couple of episodes ago when she devastated Richard with more news of her colorful infidelities with his father, of all people. But should he believe her, considering the circumstances? The very first thing that I noticed when Richard came back from grabbing his coffee was how Nancy is sitting up in the bed. She's slightly rocking a little bit, gazing off into space. Now, does this look like somebody who's ready to quote unquote go home? Now, where are the counselors, the psych ladies, somebody to talk to Nancy and somebody to offer Richard some type of support? I mean, she was just dangling from behind the closet door, drugged out of her mind just a few hours ago. So how are we ready to go home all of a sudden? Let's dive into this scene and see if we can gain a little bit more insight into what the heck is really going on. Press play.
Let's get him some coffee.
Okay. Well, doctor said I can go home.
And I'm going to assume that Richard feels the same way. I mean, he's in shock too. Look at his face. Even he's questioning if she's ready to go home. He asked her how she was doing and if she felt up to it. And Nancy is tapped in at the present moment because those heavy drugs are still floating around in her system. So she's feeling real good right about now. She tight, right?
I want to go home, get in my own bed.
Yeah, I understand.
And I'm going to wake up and cook greens.
And Richard is so glad that he's somewhat getting a piece of his wife back. So he's smiling a little bit. His heart is fluttering right now, lovesick. Like a teenager, he's thinking about them greens and ham hocks that he's been missing, licking his lips and everything. Because one thing Nancy gonna do is cook, and she's gonna make sure that everybody eats too. And he is relieved a little bit, even though he's concerned. And deep down, he knows that she may not quite be ready, but just to hear her talk with a little bit of normalcy is a relief to him. Press play.
What?
Nothing.
Why are you looking at me like that?
I'm just looking.
So now she noticed that Richard is looking at her. And it's not that he's looking at her, it's how he's looking at her. So she had to ask, why are you looking at me like that? And he's blushing. You know, he can barely get the words out. And he can only respond with, I'm just looking. You know, he's still blushing, heart filled with joy right now, right? He's just glad to have his wife back.
Oh. Because you love me?
Yes, Nancy, I love you.
Now, here is where her mind went into full flip mode. Another thing that's puzzling to me is if Nancy took Angel's and Devil's trumpet, I don't know, Angel's breath, as the doctors say that she did, and she took this internally, she should be entering the pearly gates by now. She ain't even supposed to be on Earth, but God.
Thank you.
Oh, I really do. I really do.
Thank you.
You are so special to me.
So at this point, Nancy has to thank Richard. She has to thank him for all the love that he's given her over the years. Even though she dropped it low and sprayed it wide for Clarence, his daddy, he still loves her. He forgave her. They moved on. So Nancy thinks that Richard's love for her is special and beautiful because he can still love her past her faults and having sex with his dad. Now, we knew that she had sex with him one time, only once, because this is what she told us back in season 2. But listen, just listen to what she's telling us right now.
Even though I kept having sex with your daddy?
I'm sorry. What?
And just a little side editor's note here. This is where I would have changed the music from this soap opera feel to something a little bit more jaw-dropping, dramatic. I don't know, but that's neither here nor there. She said, even though I kept having sex with your daddy. hence multiple sexual events that she was having with Daddy Clarence. Press play.
Yeah.
How many times?
Ooh, a lot.
So all that feel-good high school sweetheart Richard had, it just left the building. He asked her how many times, as if it mattered at this point. The question is she telling the truth? Now, let's explore some of the side effects of what she's taken, right? This angel's trumpet, devil's breath stuff, plants, and they can cause, lots of memory loss, hallucinations, psychosis, delirium, which is like a serious change in your mental abilities. It results in confused thinking and a lack of awareness. So, does this mean that she's lying though? Because she's definitely on track with having sex with him, right? That part.
He was really good in bed.
Was he?
Oh, yes. Oh, I was in love with him.
Were you?
But now she's going into more details of the affair and talking to Richard like they're good girlfriends or something. And we all know that you never tell a man these 4 words, that he's bigger than you and he's better than you. She's killing him right now. Right in this moment, Richard is crushed.
Were you?
Yeah. But I knew you were coming back and shit. I had to break it off with him.
Now, some of the other symptoms that these drugs can give you is dry mouth, thirst, blurred vision, photophobia, restlessness, and flushed, dry skin, none of which encourage lying of any sort. So is she telling the truth? Press play.
Is that so?
Well, he broke up with me because he didn't want to hurt you.
Wait. Hold on. Now, first, she told us that she broke it off with Clarence, right? Then in the same breath, she said that he actually broke it off with her because he didn't want to hurt Richard, right? She said that she really didn't care. All she wanted to do was to be with his daddy. Poor Richard. Press play.
Nancy?
But no, I kept telling him that I didn't care. Yeah, I just wanted to be with him, but he wasn't having it.
Nancy?
You imagine?
Nancy?
Then she hit him with the 1-2. She told him that she was in love with his father. God dang it. Now, look, there it is. Look how Richard had to take a deep breath on that one. Richard is experiencing a lot of emotions right now. A lot is going through Richard's mind right now. And I bet he want to just take back all those loving things that he just said to her. And I'm sure that he doesn't quite know whether to believe her or not. But he knows that she's more than likely telling him the truth. Right? Look at the body language. He had to stop. He had to stop holding her hand and everything. And Richard had to throw up his hands at this point. He can't take it no more. Because even though he knows that she's on heavy drugs, somewhere in all of her jabbering lies the truth. She went on to say that he was bigger than Richard, and we see Richard's hand folding up. He want to punch her. He just want to shut her up. No. Violence is never the answer, of course, but he's mad. He big mad.
Nancy?
Oh, you would have came home. We would have been together and I'd had a baby and you know he was bigger than you.
Then listen to how she says, ooh.
Nancy? 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 Nancy, you need to be quiet.
Why?
You are saying too much.
Oh, no. Shit, I feel like telling it all. I feel like telling all.
Nancy?
He told her that she was saying too much and that she didn't have to keep spilling all the tea because he just can't take it. He was done. She told Richard that she was so in love with his father that she was willing to be with Richard just to be around the father. And that was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah, after you came home, I was so devastated that he broke up with me. I just said I would be with you just to stay around him.
Then she told Richard this.
Well, I'm ready to go.
Richard was like, no, hell, you ain't. Then she sat up there and laughed hysterically because she's staying with him all this time just to see his father from time to time, which means that their entire marriage is a lie.
Is that so?
I was young and I was stupid. Ain't that funny?
Yeah. Hilarious.
Well, from her end it is. And Richard had to just get up and leave, to avoid listening to any more of her painful truth. Then to put the nail in the coffin, she said this.
Pay her back, Clarence.
I am Richard.
I know.
Now, at this point, he knew that her mind was fried. But, what can you do at this point? Richard needs a hug. Lord, where is Frida when you need her? Do y'all remember Frida? Richard might have could just go over there and break her off now that, he knows the rest of the story. But can he really rely on this considering Nancy's state of mind? And in my opinion, this is her truth. I believe her. I believe she's telling the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Even though her mind is flip-flopping back and forth with the psychosis, she's told her truth. And this is why she had to thank Richard for loving her, because she knows that she doesn't deserve it. She doesn't deserve his love. What's the fate of their marriage, you guys? Richard forgave her one time, but can he forgive her again for the same thing? She should have been forthcoming with everything, like when she confessed the first time, because now you've compromised his trust again. And now he looks like a complete fool, and I guess now is the perfect time to introduce old playa Clarence. He has to talk to his dad, and I'm surprised he hasn't talked to him up to this point, because I have a lot of questions, right? But this may be the only way to get to the bottom of everything, because Nancy's words aren't reliable right now. And even though I believe every word Nancy has said, I can understand that Richard may just really want to get clarity, before he makes any rash decisions. This way he'll know how to move forward with everything. Because right now he's got that same disease that Simone's got, the disease of disbelief that your spouse has been unfaithful. So once he gets over that, he'll be able to think clearly. Drop me your theories and your comments below on Richard and Nancy's fate. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. And if you're a fan of Tyler Perry's The Oval, go ahead and sub to this channel for more videos just like this one. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight, you guys, and I'm going to see you on the next one.